Hello everyone, we are here, we are live, we are ready to go, and we are starting off with what should be a pretty familiar site because it's pretty much the site that I ended off the stream from Monday on. This is the Evoho, I wrote it and I can't say it, Evoho 1, which last stream flew by Eve and then flew by Moho. We have just left Moho's sphere of influence. You can see Moho here in the background. And the plan for today was originally I was going to build something and then fly by Duna to satisfy this planetary flybys contract, which was actually, it's not a contract as much as it's a strategy to fly by 3 different planets. I thought that was going to be simple enough. Except in the comments very shortly after the stream, somebody posted, don't you have to have the same vessel? And if you look here, it's even in all caps here, with the same vessel. It's got to be a single vessel to fly by 3 different planets. And this was never built with that in mind. It flew by 2. And I got to fly by a 3rd. So I'm left with kind of a dilemma. Either one, somehow I get this thing to a 3rd planet. It has now 717 meters per second left, and you can see we are just outside of Moho's sphere of influence. Or I build something else and start and use it to fly by 3 different planets. I thought what would be the more fun thing to do is to see, even though it was never part of the mission, and even though this thing's not designed for it, I want to see if I can get this thing with the Delta V it's got left to Duna. If I fail at that, what I'll have to do is build something that's capable of doing 3 flybys. And I don't think, by the way, Eve, Moho, Duna is the economical way to do it at all. What would seem the easiest thing to do is to do Eve, Duna, and then Joule. Eve is a great starting point for sort of flyby gravity assist types of thing, but to make your way outwards, not to go inwards, only to go outwards again, that is not the efficient way to go. So we're gonna try and see if with what I got left, if I can get this thing out to Duna. I think it's doable. It might take some game time. We'll do a lot of time warping. We're gonna advance a lot in the years. This thing's already day 405 in its mission. But, and that's the other thing that might come in, because I have Kerbalism in play, there is part failures, parts do wear out, engines can fail, probe bodies can fail, solar panels can fail, so if critical components start to fail, that will end this mission pretty quickly, but I want to at least give it a try, and if that fails, I'll build something else. On the good news front, just to show you, if I go over here to messages, they're at the top, of course, is that contract here complete. I did finish the contract to barnstorm the island airfield hangars. That got completed. I did that after the stream on Monday. In fact, I did it right after the stream on Monday because it was bugging me. All I did was increase the authority limiter on the pitch controls, and then I was able to clear that hill. That was the problem that I was crashing into all the time. So, that got cleared off. I also got here some milestones, initiating flybys from Moho. You can see the cash boost that I'm getting. That's because of the probe frenzy strategy, and that's also for barnstorming the island airfield. And you might also be wondering, why don't you just cancel this dumb flyby thing and go ahead and do something else? Well, because if you look at the penalty is 1,750,000 Kerbucks and 500 reputation if I cancel this. So we're not going to cancel this. That is not going to be in the card. So anyway, let's see if we can not get this thing to Duna. That is going to be the plan. And let's turn off that communication line. There we go. Okay, so here we are. We have just left Duna's SOI. Now there is some good news things. Like, we are in this orbit that, just by luck, the apoapsis is very close. It's not at Eve, despite what this looks like, but it's very close to Eve's orbit, and our inclination is not terrible. That is really lucky, because I paid no attention as to how I was flying by Moho, because I had no intention of ever coming back to this thing. So the fact that it came into an orbit that is that I could work with is really lucky. I could have came into any kind of an orbit here, and that might have ended this idea right away. So the plan is going to be to try and get another encounter with Eve, use Eve to boost or slingshot the orbit out to Duna's, the altitude of Duna's orbit, and try and get an encounter with Duna. If I can't get this out towards Duna's orbit, the goal is going to be to try and get it by Kerbin's orbit and use Kerbin's gravity to slingshot it out to Duna's orbit. So we're going to kind of play kind of a planetary hopscotch using the planets to gravity assist, increase this orbit, and get ourselves out there. And in fact, really, you could play this kind of gravity hopscotch all the way out through the entire system if you wanted to, but I'm going to be happy just with the getting to Duna and calling this contract done. So here's how we're going to do this. Let's actually, you know what I'm going to do? I've been meaning to do, I don't like the Navball in the middle here. I'm going to move the Navball right now. I'm going to get into my settings. This is such an easy thing to do, and I keep forgetting to do it. And then I say, oh, I got to do that before the next stream, and then I always forget. Scrolling down here, there is here, Navball position left, right. I way prefer it way over there. There we go. Now it's out of the way. Okay, now we'll keep going. So you can see here that the blue orbit, our orbit, is going a little bit below Eve's orbit. Here and here's the two places where it comes really close to Eve's orbit. What I need to do, first of all, is get it to come in contact with Eve's orbit. Let's select Eve as a target. Start with that. There we go. And then one thing you can do is actually, we're coming around this way, is to put a maneuver right here at the descending node and try and match planes. And then you'll be hitting at both points, and that will work. But it's the more expensive thing to do. I only need to match at one of them. I can use Eve's gravity to fix any kind of inclination issues in the future. And with a little bit of playing around I've already done, I found out that it's easier for me to get an encounter here than here. And you'll see in a moment how I knew that. So what I want to do is bring this part of the orbit northwards. So I'm just going to pull up on there. And then what I need to, I'm going to play around with the timing, and you can see this equatorial ascending and descending node. Basically what I need to do is get one of them to come right here. Let's go a little bit more northwards. This, by the way, should be the more expensive burn of this whole process. I think it's going to be easier to do it with the ascending node. Yeah, because when I go northwards, that one wants to come that way. There we go. Coming in close. In fact, I might be able to, let's switch over to the little gizmo thing. So basically, I just want this ascending node right here where the two orbits cross. And I want to make this burn as low as I can to accomplish what I want. It's really close there. I think I do need to give myself a little bit more. And you can see already this burn, like I said, I only have 717 meters per second left. That's probably pretty close to going to be about it. Let's switch to the time scale buttons here. Let's see if we can really... That's not making it better. I really need to jump that time scale. No, that's making it further. That's making it further. So right around there is the right spot. I need a little bit more in the normal direction. That looks about right there. Okay, so that is 274 of my 717 meters per second left, but with luck that will be the biggest burn I have to do. Next, I want to fish for an encounter right here where these two orbits cross. So I'm going to put a maneuver node here. And you can see when I put it there, there's one of my close encounter indicators. There's the other one there. Now I could adjust this burn to get these two together. That's going to be expensive. What I'm going to need to do is do some orbits until we can get these as close as we can. And this is the trick I have for seeing how many orbits you got to do. I'm not putting any, I didn't put any delta V into that second burn. Instead, I created a third burn that's just out past this second burn. And with that one, I'm going to start hopping ahead orbits. And what I want people to notice as I do that There it goes. Watch the close encounter indicators, and I'm going to hop ahead orbits until they come pretty close together. There we go. There they are. They're pretty close together. Okay. Now, I could now adjust this third maneuver to try and get these two to be an encounter. But what's cheaper is to actually go back to that second maneuver, which remember is earlier in time, and start playing with its encounter. And what I want to play with is just the prograde, retrograde part of this. And this shouldn't be too expensive. So yeah, if I add a little bit of prograde, I'm increasing the period of my burn and bringing those closer together. There we go. So I got an encounter, and this second one, I can take a look at the numbers here. It's only 22 meters per second so far. Unfortunately, it is a little bit of a ways in the future, this encounter, but that's the way it's going to work. Where is Eve? We want to focus on Eve. Focus. Everything's too close together here. There we go. Focus view on Eve. Come in here. Okay. And so we can use maneuver number 2 using prograde and retrograde and really small adjustments to bring that inwards. So that's pretty good. And last time, I'm hitting it now. I'm definitely not going to do that. Last time, I kind of was a little too lackadaisical with my gravity assist because I knew I had lots of delta V, so I was kind of just shooting from the hip a little bit too much. This time I'm being a little bit more purposeful and really thinking about what it is that I'm doing. The other thing I want to do is I want to keep my encounter pretty close to being in the plane of Eve's orbit. I don't want to go slinging off on some inclined one, and we're going to adjust that piece of it using the first maneuver. Remember, this is the first one I put way out here, which adjusts inclination, and that one, again, it should be very, well, who knows, this one might be more. Oh, it's less than I would have guessed. You know what, I think I might just do one of these right now. Let's just push this that way. Actually, maybe the timing of this would be better. Push the time up. Whoa, come back. Maneuver 1. That's what we're playing with. Okay, I'm getting more. Oh, this is what I want. This is what I want. Yep. Yep. So it's the timing of it that made a big difference there. See, I want to have this trajectory coming in and coming out pretty close to Eve's orbital plane. Let's try and see if I can wiggle out of this a little bit. Oh, that's... Actually, if I go to maneuver number 3... No, number 2 now. Just a little retrograde. There we go. Oh, that was way too much. I think I'm going to need to sort of play with this as we get... I think I'd be best served right now not fiddling with this too much, but doing that first burn. I think that first burn is pretty close to what I need. But if we take a look, does it actually show me my projected path? Oh, I'm on the wrong side of... silly. I gotta pay attention to which side of Eve. Eve spins around in this direction. You want to enter and leave going prograde around Eve if you want an assist. And I think we are... I don't think it's just showing us our projected path. I'm not convinced it is. Oh, maybe it is. Sorry, I'm going to let me just play a little bit more. Oh, it is. Yeah. I want that apoapsis out towards Duna. See that? Now I'm inside Eve. So this is going to take a little bit. See if I come out here a bit. Oh, no. I want that boost. I got to come out of Eve's atmosphere, obviously. There it is. Okay. So this is coming around Eve. Boosting the orbit, not quite to Duna, we'll see. Again, I might need to do an encounter with Kerbin to get out to Duna. We'll see how it goes. But right now, this is good so far. I think we're good enough to do ourselves this first burn, which is coming up in 70 days. We'll do that right now. Let's turn this to here. Now, actually, another thing I was just realizing as well, because this probe was never meant to go as far away from Kerbin as Duna is, it might run into problems. One of the problems might be communication. If you might recall, when I went to Duna before, I used 2 of these DTS-M1s, but this one only has 2. It should be okay. What is a bigger issue will be electricity. As we move further and further away from the sun, these solar panels are going to become less and less efficient. You might recall that when I went to Duna, I actually used deployable solar panels, not these OxSat ones. So managing electricity might become an issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into here and I'm going to turn off all of these science experiments because they are all using electricity. I'm also, is there anything else I can turn off? No, that's probably pretty good for now. Because I want to, if we can afford to turn some of these on when we get there, if we get there, then I will. But I think managing electricity might be an issue. Okay, so I do have KOS, thankfully. That is going to be a tool at my disposal. Okay, let's get out to that first maneuver. So I'm going to, instead of watching it from the sun, we'll watch it from here. So again, we are, here we are. We got to get to this maneuver. So we're going to come around the back side of the sun here. Here we go. Oh, let's put our focus back on our probe itself. Oh, my seismic scan from Kerbin's desert is done. I moved my little rover out to the desert. Okay, we are there. Okay, we're going to run. How's this thrust? Thrust is very low. I don't like that. Really? It's going to take that long? No, why did it not allow me to do that? Come on. There we go. 12-second burn. That makes way more sense. Okay. Run that Xman script. And we're going to do, it's got to be a positive normal burn, so it's flipping all the way around. Doing a little bit of reorientation there. And just again to remind people what the purpose of this burn, because of all these burns, I know, and I'm going to be jumping between burns, gets confusing. The purpose of this burn is to take this blue orbit and just bring it upwards so it will be intersecting with Eve's orbit over here. That's the purpose of this burn. So let's get back to here. Let's time warp to the burn. All right. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1, and go. And I'm hoping this is going to be the biggest burn of this whole campaign. I really need to minimize the amount of fuel I'm going to use. All right, so there we go. That burn is done. We can delete that. Still 443 meters per second left. You can see now we're on to our next burn here. So let's check out our encounter with Eve again. Where's Eve now? Eve is now over here. And what I want is this periapsis to be as close to Eve as I dare. Now, Eve's atmosphere has a height of 90 kilometers, so as long as I'm above 90 kilometers, I am good. I am just noticing for the first time you can select the maneuvers from here, even when it's not on a maneuver to begin with. I was always trying to fight to find the maneuver and click on it, so that was a good thing to notice. Okay, so I'm going to turn this sensitivity way down. It's only 0.1 of a second. Yeah, that makes a huge difference. Okay, let's see if maybe just adjusting the timing a bit. That is crazy how much a little difference makes. 85 is into the atmosphere. 93, I can get closer. I don't plan on doing a burn here, so I can get as close as I dare. 91.5 kilometers buzzing by Eve. Where is my result? There's that red orbit's my resulting orbit. And I can see it's not reaching up to Duna. So we're going to do that. We're going to have to deal with that in one of two ways. Either one, we fly by Eve one more time to get another boost. Or way number two is we get a boost from Kerbin. Either way will work. I do want to take a look at... Yeah, I want this red orbit to be in Eve's plane, and I can see it's not. So can I do any kind of adjusting with the normalness here? I think so. Yep, that's making a difference. I don't want to be making big expensive plane changes. Even at the expense of altitude, that's important. Okay, we can come in closer now. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to have to play around with this a little more. I think I'm going to need to come... Which way does this need to... I think it needs to come southwards a lot. You know what? It might be best, because this is making a huge... I don't want this burn to get too big. Ah! Thinking it might be better to split what I'm doing right now into two separate burns. Maybe. I think so. So I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to take that normal component I just added out. Just type in a 0. Put this back on maneuver number 1 now. And again, just bring that trajectory out. Play with the timing a little bit. Might need to adjust this anyway, so I'm not sure how picky I should be. That should be good enough. The part I don't like, just to kind of repeat, is I don't like that my red orbit is... Well, we'll see. I don't like that the red orbit's coming out of... Well, it's not terrible. I think I might just live with it. Let's do this one. So, this burn is coming up in only 56 days. So let's do that one. Again, the whole plan is coming to Duna. Again, well, let's zoom in here. So I think when I just watch us go around the sun, it's kind of hard to see what's going on. So here we are here. We're just coming to the burn right there. Here we are. So this is setting up our Eve encounter. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Stop, 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 stop. Slash. Oh, what? Oh, no! Wait, wait, wait. Why'd we just blow right by the burn? I did something wrong there. Just blew right past the burn. Let's... Just by a little bit, though. So let's move this. I can fix it. I can fix this. Okay, the burn's coming up now in 38 minutes in the future. This one's not hugely time critical. Oh, now it's... Okay, but I'm probably into Eve's... Yeah. Sorry, I just got to fix this. Not sure why. Focus view. Maneuver. Not sure how I ended up doing that. Let's bring it closer to us. It's amazing how little change is required to get a decent effect. Okay. Oh, now the burn's in the... I just put the burn into the past. I can't have the burn be in the past. How did I mess that up? Okay, that's good. All right, let's whoops, just typed M into that. M. Let's get back to here. Okay, let's fix this up. So burn's now 33 minutes away. I notice it's only 1 second long, so we best reduce the time, the thrust limiter here. Okay, let's time warp to this again. Ah! I don't know why it's taking so long, but I think I tried to stop the time warp manually and somehow just got it to not stop. Now stop this time. There we go. Or I pushed something wrong. I don't know. Either way, it's all fixed now. So, flipping it around, this is a prograde burn, and basically the gist of this burn. Let's go back to here so you can see what's going on. Here we are. We're in the middle of all of this, just about on the burn, and we're in this blue orbit, and we're just very slightly tweaking the period of this orbit so that after we do a few more orbits, we will be encountering Eve right here. So this is a sort of a phasing type of deal, doing very slight change to the orbit, not very much. Okay, and we'll just kind of watch the burn here, and then we'll see what the situation is. Ooh, yeah, gonna be doing at least a couple of slingshots, at least a couple of gravity assists. Our first one swinging by Eve is going to be coming up pretty shortly, and then we got to decide what our next one is. We got to play this one by ear. Okay, so the burn's complete. Let's put this back onto that vector there for... I realized I typed an M in here by mistake again. Okay, back to map view. So here we are. We do have an encounter coming up. Now to see the encounter, this I think is the best way to see it coming. Add a maneuver. So on this turnaround, we're going to be missing Eve by quite a lot, but by putting a maneuver there just a little bit ahead of me and popping it ahead in orbit, you can see now we're missing again by a knot, but one of these orbits up here should be now an encounter. Come on. There it is. There's our encounter. How are we doing? Looks like we're hitting it, but you know, we'll make a bit of an adjustment. So, we are entering Eve's and 2 years and 70 days. This maneuver is 1 year and 316 days away. So what I think I should do, I'm going to use alarm clock because I'm really not trusting my time warp. Oh, this Kerbin to Duna window is useless now. That's why it wasn't typing. Okay. I want an alarm here for when I get to this maneuver. And then we'll plan our thing. And I'm going to hit a quick save because I'm suddenly not trusting my time warping. And the last thing I want is for something to go wrong just because of a time warping mistake. So we're going to watch this from here. I'm hoping this will make sense. So we're still in this blue orbit. So let's time warp to, yeah, let's just do it this way. Don't need this maneuver anymore. Oh, Moon Relay has a reaction wheel failure. That's okay. And I'm at full time warp. This is going to take a long time. That's why one of the things I'm the most worried about is actually a part failure on this satellite. So you can see on this way around, we're going to miss Eve. There's Eve coming ahead of us. Oh, I wish I could time warp this faster. It's as fast as it'll go. Got problems happening with reaction wheels on old satellites. They're all starting to break down. Again, we are going way, way into the future. You know, in my mind, this is one of the sort of inherent problems that comes up in career mode that I have no idea what the solution is the fact that it takes months, if not years, to do interplanetary voyages. Yet, in career mode, the moon and Minmus are just days away. And I always sort of find that, especially if you're playing with life support mods and mods like Kerbal Construction Time, which add construction time into it, that I don't want to spend the game time it takes to go out to the planets. Not that they're particularly super difficult, but I can get everything I need just within the Kerbin system, and it's all so closer. Whenever I play my own personal careers, I always end up spending almost all of my time just flapping around Kerbin and the moon and Minmus and hardly ever get out to the planets just because of the amount of time it takes for that to happen. Okay, so we are now just 200 days. I think we're going to do one more of these orbits. You can see we're missing Eve by quite a lot. Oh, what happened here? Solar panel on Moon Relay 3 is busted. I don't care. Let's keep going. Yeah. All those satellites are breaking down. We're going to have to take a look at them. Okay, now, on this go-around... No, I guess it's the next go-around? Yes, it's going to be on the next go-around where we should be encountering Eve. So, oh, Moon Relay 2 solar panel broken again. Again, I don't care. Uh-oh. Oh. I'm noticing our signal's really terrible. Oh, we're so far away from Kerbin, that's why. Another solar panel broke down on Moon Relay 4. Alright. So, here we go. Now you can see we are going to get our Eve encounter on our next pass. So that was a lot of time warping us at Eve again as a target. And now what I need to do is some sort of a correction here. Some sort of a correction. Hopefully I can get this to be... Yeah, I know about that. Close the alarm. So clearly what's happening here is not not what we want to do. But let's see. What happens if I push this outwards a little bit? Oh, that's the wrong way. There we go. And in fact... well, we'll play around with this and then we'll play with the timing. Maybe we'll play with the timing now. Here. Turn the scale up. What happens if I put this later or earlier? Maneuver 1. Does that push it out further? That pushes it out further. So later's better. Later seems to be better. Yeah. I'm hoping to make this burn a very, very small burn. And the other thing I've got to do as well is fix the plane of the resulting trajectory. So we're coming out into... Oh, where is the resulting trajectory going? I really can't see. It's further away. Okay, that's buzzing in pretty close to Eve. I should be. Is it not showing me? I'm a little bit confused that it's not. Is it the... No, the purple one I just don't know which orbit's which. This is in 218 days. The green ones are predicted orbit, but why is it not going up very highly? Before it was predicting much. I think I'm on the wrong side of Eve. Am I on the wrong side of Eve? Is that possible? It might be. Here, let's go back to the maneuver. Let's bring this through to the other side. I'm always confused here as to which way is the assist side and which way is the not assist side. Is this now kicking us out for... Yes, it is. There we go. That's the kind of thing we're talking about. Booting us out this way. Okay. But I want this green trajectory to be pretty close to being in... I don't want it to be above Kerbin's plane. So let's see. Can I... If I add a little bit of normal... Oh, that go... Oh, a little bit does a lot. A little dab will do ya. And it just... So I want to stay in the plane of the ecliptic pretty much. I don't want this to become... Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Let's just set... As long as we're intersecting Kerbin's orbit... It's hard to see, like here. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, how close are we coming? Let's see if we can pull this in a little bit closer. These are really tiny. This is a really small adjustment. Whoops. In fact, that was too much. See if we can play with the timing and make this better. Just there. 91 kilometers, so we're above E's atmosphere. We're coming in a little bit of an angle, and that's dealing with making it so that our trajectory ends up being roughly, very roughly in Kerbin's plane. Again, here, let's get rid of this. It's not brilliant. Put it back here. Get a little bit of normalness. Where's... Get rid of that. I don't think... There's what I want to get rid of. Yeah, now I'm into Eve's atmosphere, so that needs to come out a little bit. There. Oh, that's the wrong way. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good for staying in the same plane. And I'm going to again play with the timing just a little bit. I can see I'm at 92 kilometers. I want to be just above... Oh, that's going the wrong way. I want to be just above the atmosphere. I'm just playing with the timing. Because the more of a kick I can get, the better. Okay, we are, whoops, just 272 meters above the atmosphere. Here's the orbit that we're resulting in, so we're going to have to use Kerbin or Eve to give us another kick. But I think this is going to work pretty good for us here. 272. Okay, yep, I think we're going to live with that. All right, so again, I'm going to do a quick save in case there is a time warping mistake. Again, I'm going to reduce the thrust because it's such a small burn. Burn's now, let's go a little, there. That's a little too low. There, we got the burn. Let's do it this way, 2. There, we got an 8-second burn. That's good. All right. Okay, let's watch this again from out here, so we can see what is going on. Center again our view on the sun because I think it's easier to see it from here. So we are here. Time warping outwards. Getting all kinds of... Our signals should be starting to get better because we're getting closer to Kerbin again, which is good. We're coming out to this maneuver, which is just gonna... Whoa! That's why I time warped. Or that's why I quick saved. I don't want that. I just hit the time warp button with the plus and the minuses. Oh my gosh. I gotta think about what I'm doing here. I just hit time warp with the... let's do it this way. With the plus minus button, expecting it to stop for me at the maneuver node. Because I'm a dope. But I don't want time warping mistakes to be the thing that costs this mission. Gosh, look how close we're coming to Moho. It is a miss though, right? Look at that. We must have gone below it or above it or something. Alright, we're stopping. Yep. Okay, we'll get here. Open up KOS. 1 second burn's not good. There we go. Run KOS. Mr. Nico asks, do I have tech for a space station? The answer is no, not yet. I haven't even unlocked the hitchhiker can, but I want to go there next. I want to get all of this interplanetary nonsense out of the way and get back to Kerbals in Kerbin's system, building space stations and bases. That's kind of where I want to go with the next phase, but I want to get all this interplanetary nonsense out of the way, especially this one. Alright, so there is our burn. That is now complete. Get rid of that. Let's take a look at how our approach to Eve is looking. Let's focus that view. How did it do? I want to be just above the atmosphere. That ain't bad. You know what? I think I'm just going to live with that. So 91.8 kilometers. And our resultant trajectory is this purple one, which I think is definitely something that's going in the right direction, reaching out towards Duna. Okay, I'm going to set up an alarm. We're going to be crossing the Eve's sphere of influence in 100 days. Just make sure our solar panels are are in a good position here. And while I'm touching wood, and literally I am touching wood right now, nothing is broken yet on this probe, so hopefully it wasn't a mistake me just saying that. Okay, now, again, we'll watch from here. Here we go. So we're coming in here and we're going to have our Eve encounter. And again, all of those moon relays are really dying. I might not have a relay network by the time I get back. Okay, I'm going to start turning off those notifications soon. That keeps up. All right. We should be seeing Eve nearby somewhere. Not sure where it is relative to us. Okay, and actually, I'm just thinking, get rid of that alarm. We can, because our solar generation should be solid, we can start doing science again. Because as soon as we go into Eve, we're going to be doing some science. There should be some more stuff for us to collect. Okay, let's get back on us. Do we have science to collect? Are we collecting anything? Yeah, we're collecting a radiation scan. We still got stuff to do. Again, our periapsis is not into the atmosphere. That's the important part. You might think I might want to tweak this down even further, but to be honest, I really don't. I want to minimize how much I'm turning this engine on and off, because every time I turn that engine on and off, there's a possibility of a failure. Where on Earth is Eve relative to us? It should be... There's the sun. Looked like we were coming... Okay, let's just start time warping here. Where are you, Eve? There it is. There's Eve. We're not really doing much of anything. Actually, what I can do, open up alarm clock again. Whoops. Add an alarm for the SOI change. That's in 3 days and 3 hours. Oh, not a lot of science. This is telling us we did a good job. We did a little bit of a radiation scan. That was it. Eve's atmosphere is 90 kilometers high. Weatherman asks, how high is Eve's atmosphere? 90 kilometers is the answer, so I'm at 91, so we should be good. If I am wrong with that information, well, this mission is likely to end pretty quick. Okay, we're coming by Eve, going across the night side of Eve, which should be okay. We got lots of batteries. Oh, some more science just got transmitted. That's a chance for more science. And here we go past Eve. Eve's giving us a friendly little boost. Little bit of boost to speed from Eve. And then we're going to be leaving, saying goodbye. We might be coming back to Eve. We might not. Again, some more science just got transmitted. And then we got to think about next phase. We are now 3 years, 181 days into this mission. Okay, let's just get out of Eve's SOI here for good. All right. Still 414 meters per second left in the vehicle. And we are now in this blue orbit, which is most of the way to Duna, but not quite. So what I want to do, let's set Kerbin as a target and see if we are not going to be intersecting. Let's get rid of all the menus that are just in our way right now. I'm going to have to kind of do the same process I did before, which is to try and get, I can see I'm a little bit south here. I'm going to bring this up. Again, the same idea. I need to bring either the ascending node or the descending node to where these two orbits cross to get some sort of an idea. Okay, it looks like we're going to get an intersect out this way. Maybe. Maybe. It'd be nice if we can do it on this pass. See, it would be better to go the other way. That's still pretty far, though. What might be the better option, let's get rid of this, is just to hit Eve again, because I know my orbit crosses Eve's path right here. So what might be, I think, the better option, rather than going for Kerbin, because there's probably going to be some plane adjustments and all kinds of stuff to get myself to Kerbin, is the cheapest option is to set Eve as a target. Again, we're going to put a burn right here at the ascending node, and then we're going to put a second burn. Actually, I think I need to get that burn. Just get rid of it. I put it just ahead of, I got to put it here. So maneuver 1, maneuver 2. Nope, that's making sense. Okay. And then I just wanted to make sure that maneuver was well ahead, not just in front of where that is. And then we're going to pop ahead orbit. So you can see on our next pass, we're going to be missing Eve by quite a lot. But if I pick that second maneuver and pop ahead in orbit, I can see on which orbit are we going to come close to. Oh, look at that. Look at that encounter right there. Do you see that? That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. I should be able to go now to my first maneuver. and do some very slight prograde, retrograde adjustments to turn this into a hit. Oh, I think I... Oh. Oh, why? Oh, it's being kind of goofy. It does that sometimes. I think I need to turn the scale up a little bit. It's just a little too far into the future. Oh, I might. Yeah. Oh, it's above. Okay, forget it. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Okay, never mind. Let's put this back down to 0. I didn't realize that maneuver number 1, 0. I did not realize that that is actually not as close as it looks because they're not in the same plane. So we're going to, again, pop ahead in orbit with maneuver number 2. Really looking for a close approach. Oh, this is going to be so far into the future. I don't like it. I think I'm going to need to make that one work. Let's go back to maneuver 1. If I come way out here, can I make you work for me? I think it's getting too glitchy. So, okay. So, we'll make this work. Yeah, it's getting to be too much. Maneuver 2. Let's go back to the beginning. Okay. Up in orbit. Up in orbit. That's still 5 years from now. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's go back. I just don't, I'm trying to minimize the amount of years we're going into the future. What if I went to this first one? I have 414 meters per second left. Maybe I shouldn't need to be so... What if I started adding a bit of prograde to this? A lot of prograde. Now went over to the second one. Does that help things at all? No. Okay, let's switch back to Kerbin again. Sorry this is taking so long. This is taking... maybe Kerbin is my better plan. Set Kerbin as a target. It's the plane change that's killing me. Go here. And it's entirely possible I might be in trouble. I'm kind of curious now. Maybe just matching planes with Kerbin might facilitate this better. Let's put a maneuver right here at the descending node. What is our relative inclination? It's only 1.2. How much is it going to cost to just match planes with Kerbin? That might facilitate this. 264 meters per second to match planes with Kerbin. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to just match planes with Kerbin. And what's nice here is I can actually look. My projected inclination is 0. I think I'm just going to do this. I'm going to match planes with Kerbin, and that will facilitate the encounter, make it an easier thing. It's 264 meters per second, so a bit. Well, I can't. Somebody's asking why not set Duna as the target, but I'm not. My orbit's not high enough to reach to Duna just yet. I'm close, but not quite. Or you think maybe? You know what? Like, what am I doing? I think I understand. You know what? Let's. I might be just way overcomplicating this. I have the delta V. Oh my gosh, why not just do a straight up, add this to the orbit, and just do it? That's 406. Okay, so no, I'm not crazy. So to increase my orbit up to here is another 406 meters per second. I only have 414 left, so I don't think I'm quite there yet. As much as I would like to be, to make just a straight out burn for Duna. But it was a good thing to check that. So I'm glad it was suggested. Now, I think what I'm going to do is make the plane change. There we go. And then we'll go for... Okay, when's this burn coming? Again, I'm going to do a quick here. This is 262 meters per second of the 414 left, and then that should facilitate an encounter. Okay, let's get to that. So that's going to be in the future. Again, I'm going to time warp every... Quick save before every time warp. But that was a good idea, Rob. Thank you for the suggestion. Oh my goodness. Getting so many probe failures. Thanks for the suggestion of at least trying just to straight up go for Duna. Just not quite there yet. But with enough time, you can get pretty much anywhere with a surprising little amount of delta V. Okay. You can still see lots of messages of probe part failing. I'm not quite sure why we're not going to full time warp, but I don't want to force time warp it because I should be using alarm clock for this rather than, but whatever. Philippe says Rob DV is not what Rob DV Kerman is not one of your best crew for nothing. Okay, let's KOS run that X-Man script. Now 3 years, 205 days into this mission. My Kerbals are going to age out before all this is done. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and go. All right. That at least now has our inclination down to 0. So that should facilitate an encounter with Kerbin. So what I'm going to do is do the same thing again. We'll put a... Where are we crossing Kerbin's orbit? Like right here. Well, we'll see. We're crossing Kerbin's orbit in 2 different places, so that doubles the likelihood of an encounter in the not too distant future. I would love to see if we can get this one to work here. I'm not sure I can already. Let's just play with that. If I go radially outwards... Actually, it needs to be... Now this is going to be a huge burn to try and get that to work. I think. That makes it worse. Oh yeah, that's like 1,000 meter per second burn to make that work. Yeah. Okay, that's not going to work. So what we're going to have to do is do the same thing, pop ahead orbits, and see where we can get. Oh, that is not encouraging. We're in a period that is, I think, pretty darn close to Kerbin's period. Oh boy. Because it's not changing that much. And we're getting very close to an encounter here, but that encounter is like 70 years in the future. That's no good. So we're going to try and go for Eve again. The period of this orbit's too close to Kerbin's period. Let's set Eve as a target. I'm going to get this to work one way or the other. I'm determined. Why am I not seeing any... Oh, dummy. There. No? Why am I not seeing any Eve encounters? Oh, because our orbit... Oh, shoot. I might have not... This is not... I am not encouraged. Okay. I think... Okay, we're going back for Kerbin. I think I've committed myself to that. Let's set it back to the target here. What I need to do... Burn here at periapsis. Add that maneuver. That's only the one maneuver I got, right? Oh, where's maneuver... I got too many maneuvers happening. Stop it. Maneuver 1. Delete that. Where's the other maneuver? There. That might have been what was... Okay. One burn here at periapsis. Another burn here in the future. Push that one ahead. Let's see if we can get ourselves an encounter. Okay, I think my best bet then might be a little bit of push. Trying to adjust my period so I can actually get... Oh, I'm pushing the time. Oh, for goodness sakes. I'm starting to not think. Sorry. Okay. Got. Alright, here we go. No more fooling around. This is it. Burn here. I'm thinking a little bit of prograde or a little bit of retrograde should be able to adjust this period so that I can get the encounter. I'm looking at this one right here. You're dancing around all over the place and that's what's driving me crazy. Oh, I got the scale too small. That's the problem. All the way around to here. I'm trying to manipulate this one right here to try and get a Kerbin encounter, but it's really not cooperating, and I'm not entirely sure why it's not cooperating. Focus this view. Okay. Or not focus the view, sorry. Set that one as a target. Still think I should be able to get an even counter out of this, but it's not giving it to me. I am not... I can get it, but it's so far into the future. That's what's driving me up the wall. And I'm starting to fumble. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm looking at the time of the stream. And I'm honestly at a point now, and I'm sure people are watching this stream going, oh my god, get it on. But I'm not going to abandon this just yet, but right now I think I'm starting to just fry my brain. We should be able to manipulate this and get myself an encounter with Eve or an encounter with Kerbin. And I think what I'm going to do is play with this a little bit on my own time, where I'm a little bit more together and not so much in a hurry. Try and facilitate that encounter, get it out to Duna. But what I think I'm going to do right now is get myself back to the Space Center. We're going to do ourselves something that's a little bit more, less mind taxing, I think is what I really, really need to do. Now let's take a look, and because I got 501 science from everything that I've done so far. I'll get back to that encounter in the next stream. But I want to start unlocking some things, and I want to start unlocking some things that are really going to help me. One of the ones I was looking at here is precision engineering. Precision engineering gives me like the cubic octagonal strut and the octagonal strut and lots of little parts, some more SCANsat parts. That is helpful as far as construction goes. I'm also looking at electronics. I was scouting these out ahead of time. The electronics has the GravMax negative gravioli detector, as well as more antennas. And so if I do have to end up building something to get out towards Duna, I can start to do that. Life support, if I want to start getting into stations, you're going to do that. And that leaves me, that I think gets me going, progressing in a good direction. And now I'm going to finish off this stream by first warping myself to sunrise. And we're going to go and get ourselves something a little bit more familiar. And we're going to see if we can do some more down-to-earth contracts. And then we're going to... I'll get back to that encounter one and try and make that one work for me. So the contracts I'm looking at here are... Let's actually turn this on. I'm going to go break the sound barrier. We're going to do a jump from an airplane. I like all of these. And I think I'm going to call it with those two. And we're going to do this with a familiar looking plane. We got ourselves here the Weasley one. Here, let's get rid of that. Because it has, I think, the pilot. I'm going to use two pilots on this, I think is what we're going to do. So... Jebediah looks like he's ready to go. I think we'll use Jebediah, and why don't we get Michael A involved? Actually, Jeb and Valentina. Valentina hasn't done enough. And we're gonna now for the jump from the airplane. Does it have to be anyone in particular? I don't think it does. No. Nope, I don't think it does. So we're just gonna do this. Jumping from an airplane, let's get into their cargo here. They're not going to need this or this or this. But they definitely are going to need their parachutes. And just to give us some extra science for us to collect, I'm going to do this over the deserts. So we're going to go to the desert airfield and we're going to launch this thing. Yep. Oh, and we are in the dark. That's okay. Lights on. Extend our ladder here. Kerbal alarm clock's not doing anything for us. Oh, brakes on. I don't believe we have ever been in the desert before. We can do ourselves a surface sample and an EVA report. Oh, we have been in the desert. Oh, I guess we have. Okay, we're going back. Not as much here than I thought there was. Okay. Must have touched down in the desert at some point in the future. We are doing ourselves some other types of science, so we might as well collect that. Time warp that away. It's 14 minutes to collect the atmospheric scan. All right. Okay. And SAS on, throttle off. We'll put the view on chase here and go. So we got 2 contracts here to finish off. We'll do this first one here, which is to break the sound barrier. I think this thing should be capable of doing it. One, up you go. Anytime now. Wow. Lots of science being collected in all of this as well. So, oh, and this is of course by sea level. So, oh, we're already up fairly high as it is. So we need to get, oh, we're already at altitude. So we just need to get this up to a speed of 2,500 meters per second, or what do we got? 353 meters per second, while keeping it level at the same time. I think we should be able to do that. And then it's going to be time to push Valentina out of the plane. Be honest, I've never tried to get this thing up to speed, so I think it should be okay. We'll find out pretty soon. Oh, I don't know now. Now I'm not so sure. Shoot. I might have to jack this up a little bit faster. Okay, so sound barrier was a little bit too optimistic. Maybe if I bring it down a little bit. And then level off. Got to be above 2,500 meters. I can see that this is going to be too optimistic. Going to need a faster plane. More engines, more thrust. Okay, so that's not going to do it, but that's okay. Okay, sound barrier's not going to care. It's not one for getting stuff done, but what we can do is the jumper. So I'm going to have to, I've never really done, you know what, I am going to quick save before I do this because this could go really, really wrong. Let's cut down our thrust a lot because we don't want to be jumping at Mach 0.8. Slow down. Trying not to send Valentina into the hospital. JJ Fox says. Do our best not to have that happen. But what I'm going to have to do is let Valentina go, and then we're going to have to get back to the plane and follow her down. And hopefully the parachute's okay. I don't trust KSP parachutes that well. Okay, here we go. Okay, Valentina, we're going to have to let go. Oh, shoot. Okay, see? Oh, that didn't work. Hence why I quick saved. We're going all... Okay, I'm going to try this again. Do you think she has PTSD? If she didn't have it before, she has it now, that's for sure. Okay, let's try it a little bit of a different way. So we're going to do this a little differently. I'm going to completely try and make this so that... Okay, cut this. Lock that onto ProGrade. We're going to let this get up to its apogee, and we're going to try this again. Okay, try this again. This time at a... Oh, she has her helmet on this time, so that's a good sign. Okay. Come on, Val. Get out of there. Okay. And parachute, where I should have really scoped this out ahead of time. Deploy chute. Okay. Back to the plane. Throttle up. And she has to land safely. All right. Where is she? There she... No. That is our rover. Where? Oh, there she is there. Definitely want to make sure she stays within rendering distance. That would be bad. Then I'm basically just going to follow her down. All right. Let her come on down to the surface. Now, hopefully this won't take too long. No idea how long it takes her to get down to the surface. But clearly if I leave this plane's going to crash. And I'm realizing as well, I'm supposed to get back to the runway. That's just not going to happen. I don't care. Okay, we're about 900 meters from the surface, so I have no idea what her rate of fall is. Yeah, I'm not going to take this. By seeing that on the contract, Benjamin's pointing out as well that this is supposed to get back to the KSC. I'm not going to do that. I'll do that piece of it on my own time. This thing should have the legs to fly back that far, but flying all the way to the KSC in a stream, I don't think is exactly exciting. Though I think as far as streams go, I gotta be honest, I'll be the first to call it. I think this is a bit of a bust, this one. I was hopeful, but whoa, I almost crashed into her. Definitely not on my A game today. Come on, Valentina. Are you going to get down to the surface at some point? I hope she doesn't just get down to the surface in a puff of smoke. I have no idea how fast she's falling. Also watching my altitude. I don't want to end up crashing this plane either. Oh my goodness, is she... I don't know. She's still not down. I'm being asked, are we going to get a stream where I build something useless but cool? What kind of useless but cool things are people having? I'm not, you know, although I enjoy watching people that do those kind of things, I'm really not. I'm going to try and put this thing down. I'm really not. I like building things that are more functional than anything. I think she is almost on the surface. Whoa. Come around to her again. Is she down yet? She must be. I think she's on the surface. I think she is sitting on the surface. So let's get this thing down too. Make sure not to run her over. Still not quite the pitch authority I would like to have on this thing. I gotta work on this plane still some more. Oh, we got a hill coming up. Come on, down, down, down. Oh, that went well. Okay. I'm sorry. I am just not here today. I think what I'm gonna need to do, honestly, I know that this stream has been honestly nothing but a fail, but I really do think I'm gonna need to have to quit this one while I'm ahead. I'm looking at the time. Not all of them can be particularly productive. I think I'll just get these folks back home. I think I'll, yeah, I think I need to have a rest is really what's going on. So I'm going to be calling it at this point. I am sorry about this stream. I am sorry for people that are seeing this at a later date. I think I might just put a great big giant warning at the front of this one just saying, you know what? Just skip it. Don't watch it at all. And if there are people that are watching this, and I know the people in the chat, I'm sorry, and I'm hoping they had some fun. And people that are watching this at a later date, if you're at this point in the video, I'm just going to apologize right now. I'll try and do better next time. In the meantime, I'm hoping everybody has themselves a really, really good weekend, and we'll see you all later. All right?